Some of you watching this are probably wondering why I decided to make a video on this topic instead of actually addressing the most recent news in terms of what is going on with the upcoming Thriller Bark updates for Grand Peace Online. And well, I don't have a great answer for this question. I will in fact be also talking about the Thriller Bark update soon. Hopefully, if I can find the time, I'll make that video before the actual update releases. However, this video will instead be dedicated to a feature I have been wanting to see out of the game for months now. The feature that I'm talking about, if you couldn't tell already from the thumbnail of the video, is an island capture system. Now, I am aware that this idea may seem strange to some of you watching. However, for those who have played One Piece Final Chapter 2, this concept should seem fairly familiar. For those who don't know, One Piece Final Chapter 2 was a One Piece Roblox game that experienced moderate popularity before Grand Peace Online was even released. This game may not appear that special at first, but in my opinion, it pioneered a lot of new features that were later adopted by GPO, even if there was no direct line of inspiration. Unfortunately, a lot of key features that made the game special were not inherited by GPO. There are a lot of features that would fall into this category, but for the sake of this video though, the feature that I'll be discussing, as I mentioned before, is the island capture system. Now, this is a system where players can capture islands for their crew, and this typically involves standing in a certain area for a duration of time until you have successfully turned the flag on that island and taken it over. Each island, apart from maybe Town of Beginnings, should feature a flag island capture system like this. The flag should be outside the safe zone and far enough from the safe zone so that players cannot just respawn and then immediately jump back into the fight. Furthermore, the duration of time should be long enough to allow players to recover a significant portion of their health in a full capture cycle. This way, one crew may be able to hold onto an island even while fending off repeated attacks from an opposing crew. Of course, if there were no benefits for capturing an island in this way, it would not be a good system. In fact, it would likely become obsolete and underused almost as quickly as it was added. Now, this is a tricky situation. What benefits should the devs add that simultaneously provide a worthwhile enough reward for the considerable time investment while also not being game breaking? Now, if you had asked me this question in the early days of GPO, I would have probably reluctantly said devil fruits. However, in the current state of GPO, with its abundance of unique items, we are almost spoiled for choice. Item rewards that jump to mind immediately, for me at least, are things such as SP Reset Essence, Dark Roots, and potentially Devil Fruit Bag. These rewards could be given to all players in a particular crew after they have captured a flag for a specified amount of time. Or, alternatively, players could be rewarded with points, which could then be spent in a separate shop on the aforementioned rewards. Perhaps, with the accumulation of enough of these points, players could unlock special rewards such as random devil fruits or cosmetic items such as a crown or a straw hat that would signal to other players that their crew was strong. If you couldn't already tell, this suggestion is one that could be implemented in a myriad of different ways while also providing players with an abundance of entertaining player-driven content. Furthermore, it would give not only a use to crews, but would also drive player-on-player interaction in public servers. Of course, I am being a little bit optimistic here, and it would be somewhat of a balancing nightmare to incorporate such a feature. However, GPO has enough balancing nightmares, so surely this task pales in comparison to other more glaring underlying problems. What I'm trying to say is, I have faith that the devs, in particular Beneer, because I just think he's a great dev, could implement this feature in a way that was balanced, rewarding, and sustainable. A leaderboard could also be implemented to provide crews with a verifiable status. Second sea islands could be worth more than first sea islands, or perhaps if one crew dominated a server for too long, NPCs could spawn around the flag to provide them with a challenge. Hopefully this would not be necessary and rivalries between already established crews would fulfill this role. Imagine you organize a time with the rest of your crewmates and you get into the game to capture an island. Upon capturing the island, a rival crew sails up to the island and a struggle ensues for the ownership of the flag. Not to mention, if the Marines made a concerted effort to maintain islands, it would be a fundamental shift on the scale of a great pirate era in GPO, and even more so if the rewards were increased to mythical proportions. We all know how crazy GPO players get about limited items. Now imagine if there was a path to channel this craziness. Imagine the lengths players would go to obtain items in this way. Provided it was balanced, the conflict that would ensue would, all things considered, revitalize public servers across the board and bring back the golden age of crew wars and player-on-player interaction in the game. However, this time crew wars wouldn't be just for fun, you'd be fighting for a reward. Something tangible with intrinsic community-supported value, a real treasure, if you will. Have I won you over? Would you like to see this feature in Grand Peace Online? Make sure to answer these questions in the comment section below. Also, I am well aware that I may have missed key components of this idea, or may have simply not been able to, across the board, discuss its potential. For this reason, I would also like it if you commented your own suggestions how a system such as this could work. If we all work together, we can build a greater future for GPO and make it a game that we can all have fun playing, and as long as we do this, we can keep GPO alive. That's all, see you next time.